Okay. All right, we are live. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we are going to be talking about what went down on Friday Night SmackDown, and I'm fucking hot for this shit. But without further ado, of course, SmackDown itself. Two Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, Rey Fenix and Trick Williams, and two women's title matches. So we're going to see what went down. But before we jump right into it, if you guys could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. This will be my last week, of course, or weekend. I will be headed back to work on Monday. As you can see, already prepared for myself. So, it's Tiffy time again. After the usual shots of people walking backstage, Tiffany Stratton made her way out to cut a promo to kick off the show, and boy, this was not good. This promo was not that good. She spoke about losing the women's WWE title, but being on the path to winning it back thanks to qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. Nia Jax and Lash Legend came out, talked some trash, and threatened Tiffy, but Rhea Ripley and Sky came out before they had a chance. This led to our women's tag team title match. So Tiffany made a quiet exit once Ripley and Io made it to the ring. Now, I figured that during the promo itself, it felt like they were going to scrap the women's tag team match and do a 6-woman tag team match, right? Having another woman attack Tiffany. But because Chelsea Green isn't able to wrestle right now because of her injury, I hope for a speedy recovery, Chelsea. I hope for a speedy recovery, Chelsea. Salute to you. Stratton has a good following, even as a babyface. Certain things she says just seem more suited for a heel. She was such a good antagonist in NXT, and it would be great to see her get to play that role on the main roster. Her promo was short, and everything that followed was cookie cutter stuff. But getting right into the first match without a long talking segment to start the show is a nice change of pace. Now, why do we have to always start a show with a fucking promo? Because it's detail adding, right? I've talked about this before. Detail adding. It's a detail adder. Promos add detail to the story to help us be able to predict it. Anyway, this was graded a C. So, I'm going to pull up the notes here for our Elimination Chamber qualifying because we got some people added to this, and I'm going to be pissed off about what we got added to this. Anyway. We got Rhea Ripley and Io versus Lash Legend and Nia Jax for the titles. So, Sky and Jax started for their teams. The Genius of Sky used her speed to neutralize Jax's power advantage before bringing in Ripley for a double team spot. Once the heels had Sky cornered, they took control and tried to keep her grounded. Sky was giving up a lot of size to both competitors because, of course, they're bigger than her, and she felt like a bigger underdog in this aspect. It's hard to say exactly what it was, but it felt like this match was missing something that would have made it more exciting. The champions never felt like they were in a danger of losing their titles. The ref ended up calling for the bell when everyone was fighting at ringside. Sadly, the most exciting part of all of this was that it was over. The brawl afterwards between all of these 4 women were more entertaining than the entire match itself. So no contest and graded a C. So we just threw this match out for no reason. So honestly, WWE should have just scrapped the title idea knowing that they were going to do this shit and go for a fucking 6-woman tag match. They would have just needed to find somebody to replace it. They should have just had Alba Fire join, or Candice LeRae or someone to replace it. Like, we're not off to a good start, but hopefully it gets better. What was supposed to be a open challenge, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Matt Cardona, Apollo Crews, and Shinsuke Nakamura took on the MFTs in a 10-man tag team match. How did we get to this point? Well, see, Carmelo Hayes was shown telling Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews that the open challenge was closed this week. After the break, he made his way to the ring. He announced that he would be in the Elimination Chamber qualifier match next week because he is aiming for the main event of WrestleMania. He then called out Ilya Dragunov to get his title shot. Before that match could even start, Solo Sikoa and the MFTs came out. They ended up attacking Hayes and Dragunov, but Cardona, Cruz, and Shinsuke came out to help even the odds. So Nick Aldis was forced into making this a 10-man tag team match. So we returned to see, of course, the match already taking place. What followed was exactly what you would expect in this kind of match. Each competitor took turns in the ring, so it never felt like anything spent too much time as a legal man. While the match was relatively predictable in how it played out, it was also kind of fun. They sprinkled some great spots in this match, and seeing Hayes and Dragunov on the same side was entertaining. But Tama Tonga has been the talked about member of this group, the focus part of this group. See, Tama Tonga was able to secure the win by pinning the champion himself, which could put him in line for a title match. The Wyatt Six appeared in the crowd after the match, but there was no altercation. So the MFTs won and got scared off. B minus, I guess. But like, hey, shit. For a match like this, pretty fun. And it's not a Survivor Series type match. Sweet. I like it. We'll take it. This is your mid-card, guys. It's your mid-carders versus your faction. And this is not exactly how you want to use your mid-carders. You want to get them in a booked match. And, I think this was WWE's way to show off who's part of the mid-card. So, we got to our first women's qualifying match. And I'm glad to say that I knew this was predictable from the start. Charlotte Flair accompanied Bliss to the ring for this triple threat match, Elimination Chamber qualifying match against Vega, Julia, who had Kiana James in her corner. These are three talented competitors, so they didn't waste any time kicking things into high gear. It didn't feel like any of them were locked to win, So that helped make this outcome feel a little more unpredictable, but I pretty much knew exactly who was winning based on the competitors alone. See, James and Flair didn't have much of an impact on most of the match, and it ended with a pretty clean finish when Alexa Bliss hit Zelina Vega with the Sister Abigail and secured the win. Considering there are no DQs in these kind of matches, it was shocking that WWE resisted writing more interferences into this one. See, that's the thing, too, is I wish there was more interferences added to this fucking match, right? Don't you wish that there was more, of an interference, opposed to a 1-on-1 match where, disqualifications can't happen. And, quite frankly, they just don't fucking do that. And that kind of really pisses me off, too. Am I spelling her name wrong this entire fucking time? Shit. But, as you can see now, we move over the bracket, and of course you can see Alexa Bliss is now officially added to the Elimination Chamber qualifying, and Charlotte Flair will be a part of the last one for SmackDown. It will be Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and Kiana James? Yeah, Kiana James, I think, is a part of that one. But anyway, Alexa Bliss adds her name to that list, and it's starting to look like, I think, 2 years ago, guys, right? Give me a minute. Let me look this up. I think it's 2 years ago. I think it was 2024? Or was it last year's? Let me actually check last year's. It was in Canada. No, I don't need the commentators. I need the... Okay, one of these looked almost the same. Hold on. With the competitors in it, it looked exactly like... No, was it? God damn, it might have been... Well, Ripley wouldn't have been in it because she was the women's champion at the time, so... I think it was 2024, guys. I think it was 24, right? Because wasn't Tiffany in the fucking match? I don't know. It looked pretty familiar. It looks fucking familiar, guys. It looks familiar. With Tiffany, Bliss, and a bunch of people, it looks fucking familiar. Anyway, Bliss won. She defeated fucking Vega and Julia, so we add that to the bracket. Anyway, B-. There's a funny backstage, of course, trying to get Oba Femi to join the SmackDown roster, but Kit Wilson came in to play, and R-Truth, and then fucking Damian Priest also came in, and it was a segment that, you couldn't just, get through and, without laughing. Couldn't get through without laughing, basically. We moved on to a match that was already scheduled. It was Rey Fenix versus Trick Williams. After getting a pep talk from Sami Zayn, Fenix took on Williams in the next match. Trick Willie gave a promo, but man, the hype was there, bro. Everybody was chanting "Whoop that Trick" when he came out. It was there. You see, Williams had the upper hand at first, but the High Flyer eventually found a way to counter him, and get in some offense, including a springboard drop kick that got him 2 count. They fought through a break and into the next segment. See, Phoenix was in control when we returned, and one backhand from Williams put him on the mat. These two work well together to put on a decent match. This wasn't some big feud or anything, so it was nice to get a bout that felt like it was two guys trying to prove who was better without some deeper conflict behind it, with no story or anything. Just, a setup if they needed to. The second half was a lot more exciting than the first, but Phoenix put up a good fight, but Williams obviously hit him with a trick shot to shut him down. So, great to be. We got our women's title match, and yep, the WWE Women's Championship was on the line this week while Cargill finally defended the belt against Grace. Before the match, they could get going. Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Dominic came out to watch at ringside for a little Valentine's Day treat. I wanted to throw something in there for that because I saw it. The crowd chanted for Dirty Dom as the match began, with Cargill pushing Grace to the corner. It's crazy to think during a Women's Championship match, you got the man being cheered for. I think I'm starting to feel a little bit like Kit Wilson, this toxic masculinity. Both women have a lot of power, but Jade had the height advantage too. So she had a little more leverage during certain moves. See, Cargill still had some things she needs to work on, but Grace did a good job masking some of her shortcomings. This wasn't pretty, but it had some highlights. See, Grace looked especially good during some of her feats of strength. Judgment Day didn't end up having much of an impact on this match, and Cargill scored a clean win with of course, her finisher, the Jaded. So great to see. Really nothing much here. Cargill also had a quick moment behind the scenes with Sky and Ripley, so some tensions there. That's what you want to see, a table set up with chicken nuggets and roses. Dominic is such a fucking kid, dude. He is such a fucking kid. Anyway, we got to our main event, which was Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu. And boy, was this fucking... Here's something I got to talk about. This week's main event was brought to you by Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. No, I'm kidding. Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu fight for one of the opening spots in the Elimination Chamber. All three men shared their thoughts on this bout during the show leading up to it. Fatu and Rhodes already have a personal rivalry, so they tried to take out Zayn early so they could fight. The underdog from the underground hit both men with a huge dive as the show cut to a break. They had more than 20 minutes for this match, so they had no problem making this fun while still taking the time to sell big spots. They usually had one person sitting out while the other two fought and would take turns. But they also had moments where three men were fighting, or where all of them were fighting, basically. As it looked like Fatu was going to win, Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere, pulled him out, hit him with a Claymore, and I think put him through an announce table. He also hit Rhodes with one, put Sami Zayn on top of Rhodes, right? Thinking they're going to have Sami Zayn now get into this. But Drew McIntyre underestimated Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes kicked out. So here's where it gets a little funny, and here's why I'm kind of hot and mad about this, okay? Drew McIntyre gets back in the ring, beats up Rhodes again after a Claymore, beats him up into the corner, throws him away from the corner. Sami Zayn comes back, hits Drew McIntyre with a haluva kick, taking McIntyre out, only for Rhodes to come right off to his feet, hit him with the crossroads, and lay right on top of him for the win. So, as you guys can see, and I'm putting the name here right now, it is fucking ridiculous. It makes Drew McIntyre look fucking ridiculous, but Cody Rhodes advances. He defeated Zayn and Fatu, which I am not happy about, simply because I think Fatu should have earned that spot into the Elimination Chamber. Fatu will probably get the last spot eventually, but as far as I'm concerned for SmackDown, there is already a qualifying match set into place, and that is with Damian Priest, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams. The fact that most likely, I want to see what happens on Raw because I already know who probably the last man will be, and that will probably be Damian Priest, which again, it's looking good. This Elimination Chamber match is looking fucking phenomenal. But the fact that McIntyre hit Cody with a Claymore, came back in the ring and beat him senseless, only for Zayn to hit him with it I don't know. It makes McIntyre look like his shit is weak. It makes the champion look weak in that sense. He had a Claymore, he then goes back in the ring, beats up his opponent, right? Only to get a Luva kicked, and then for Cody Rhodes to win the fucking match? It just looks weak. He pins Zayn to win it, but like it looks he makes McIntyre look weak. Even Cody, like Cody fucking it's perseverance, I think, to Cody. Like, yeah, it's good for Cody to be perseverance, but damn, like Cody got Claymored and got beat up senseless in the corner. Like, I would have understood if McIntyre just like was grabbing him by the throat, up against the corner and was talking to him. No, he was punching him. He was beating him up, and then threw him to the floor. If he had just grabbed him and talked to him, fucking just, hit him with a good punch to the floor, okay, I understand that. Now Sami Zayn comes in, hits the Luva kick, and then Cody Rhodes gets back up to his feet, right? Or Cody Rhodes counters, throws McIntyre in front, so Sami hits the Luva kick because he can see Sami coming, right? And then takes out Sami. But no, you did it in a way that makes it look like fucking Drew McIntyre is a fucking weak man, a weak champion. Like, that's fucking no. The writing is just, oh my God, B fucking minus. No, fuck the plus. Fuck the plus. That's a B minus right there. So what's the final word? Well, SmackDown did some legwork building up to Elimination Chamber while featuring 2 title matches, but as a whole, it was a pretty average episode. A few of the matches failed to stand out, and the ones that did only stood out because there was a little more competition for the best match of the night. Honestly, probably the best match of the night would probably be Rey Fenix and Trick Williams. Honestly, Rhodes, Fatu, and Zayn had more memorable performances, but the best show of the night was probably Williams and Phoenix. Had one of the title matches been on the line, changed hands, this would have been a newsworthy episode, but Cargill and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky retained their belts simply because Cargill's too fucking big and popular, and fucking Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, well, yeah. No contest. So the lineup for Elimination Chamber is shaping up with some heavy hitters, so hopefully both chamber matches live up to expectation. I want to bring us over to this for a minute and change up some things. So it looks like, as far as we're concerned, is that it looks like Brock Lesnar, opposed to Gunther. Gunther is going to get a Elimination Chamber qualifying match opportunity. I'm hearing news that Lesnar may be fighting L.A. Knight as a setup for WrestleMania. How does that work out? I don't know. I'm going to also remove Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker simply because we have, they're probably not going to do that. Therefore, we're probably going to get Gunther versus somebody else. Most likely could be Chris Jericho if it's not going to be anybody else. I mean, shit. Who would Gunther be able to face on, Obviously, this whole ladder match right here fits perfectly with what I think is going to happen. Charlotte Flair also has a qualifying match next week. So, the qualifying match, I don't know if they mentioned that. The qualifying matches for next week on SmackDown are, for the men's, Damian Priest, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams, which would be fun. Then you also have the women's, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, and I believe it's Kiana James. So, I hope Charlotte gets in there, and it would be interesting to see what happens. But on Raw, we got Asuka, Bayley, and I forget who the last one is. And then for the men's, actually, I might have to look that up. But yeah, C+, definitely a C+ episode. Definitely a C+ episode. Hands down, nothing fucking... Let's see what we have for the, let's see. All right. Oh, okay. So for Raw, it will be Dominic. Gunther, and Javon Evans. Most likely, it will be Gunther. And I was right. Yes, Charlotte, Kiana, and Asuka, Bayley, and Natalya. Okay. So that's good. That's good. That's good. I don't want to make anything like big, but I'm thinking of who might be in there. And I'm sorry, I got my nose is stuffed up. It's okay. I'm gonna tell you right now who I think is gonna like make it. So I'm just gonna write these out. They're probably not gonna be right, but oh yeah. Sorry. I think that Gunther will make it. I'm gonna say Damian Priest, and then we'll find out who makes it there. As for the women's, I say Charlotte simply because Charlotte and Nia Jax. Charlotte and Nia Jax simply because they both have. When you think about all three women who are already qualified and in it, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, they all have feuds with. They've all had feuds with Charlotte Flair, and and Nia Jax has all had feuds with her, right? And then for Asuka, simply because Asuka has a lot of experience with everyone else in this match too. Mainly Flair and Ripley. Could be Natty, but I don't think it's going to be Natty. And they're probably going to add Becky Lynch to this. I just think that's what's going to be. I may be wrong, but yeah, I think that Gunther and Asuka will be added. Flair and Priest will be added, and then that last spot we'll have to find out on Raw. Trick Williams also played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Anyway, these are our matches so far right now. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, Becky's not going to be in the match. Sorry. Whoops. My dumbass. So, yeah, that was SmackDown. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, comment down below. I'll be back on Tuesday to give you the Raw review. And then, of course, the SmackDown Summary next week. And then, ladies and gentlemen, our final Raw before the Elimination Chamber. Who will go to the Elimination Chamber? And the predictions will be out the 26th. The 26th. That'll be a Thursday. You guys will see that. Everything coming to you right away. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.